Have you ever wondered how they get sugar out of a sugar beet? We headed to Minn-Dak Farmers Cooperative in Wahpeton and got a rare look inside the factory to see how the job is done.
Sugar, sugar.
This is what we call the wet hopper. This is where the beets are introduced into the process. The jaws there are chunk breakers that break up frozen chunks. This is the beet wheel that lifts the beets from the end of the flume up into the washer. 45 feet in diameter, and I think its weight is somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 tons. The beets start out by going through the drum washer. The drum washer has about 2 or 3 feet of water in it, allows the beets to tumble against each other and rub some of the dirt off. Through this water flume over to the secondary washer, the paddle washer, and again just kind of rub against each other to get the dirt off. The clean beets go out the end, across a spray of water, and then onto a conveyor belt, which takes them up into the main plant. The beets from the wash house come up and dump into one of these 2 beet bunkers. From there they go through one of the 2 slicing machines where they're sliced up into pieces called cassettes. Those cassettes fall on the belt here and go into the cassette mixer to be denatured. This is the cassette mixer where the beets are denatured by heating before being sent into the diffusion tower so that the soluble components can flow out into the raw juice. The beaker on the right shows what the raw juice looks like coming out of diffusion. We add lime and carbon dioxide to the juice, which forms a precipitate, which you can see forming on the left, and that settles out, takes some of those soluble non-sugars out of the raw juice so that we end up with a purified form of juice. That clear juice is skimmed off of the top, becomes the thin juice that goes into the evaporators. Here we see the multiple effect evaporation station where 10 to 12,000 tons of water every day are evaporated from the thin juice to make the thick juice. The standard liquor is brought in and boiled under vacuum to get the juice to a supersaturated condition where we inject some finely ground sugar crystals into this solution, and the crystals will start to grow. Here she's taking a sample of the finished massaquite coming out of the vacuum pan. Here you can see the massaquite going into the vacuum pan. The basket will start to speed up and the brown mother liquor is spun away from the white sugar crystals. Then it'll continue to spin for a while to dry the sugar. Then it'll slow down and plow out, and we'll have a finished batch of sugar. The sugar from the white centrifugals goes into our granulator room where the sugar is dried and cooled, screened, goes over a magnet and a metal detector and out to storage. Sugar is loaded out of our sugar silos and into either bulk trucks or bulk rail cars for shipping out to our customers.
Here are some fun facts. The average sugar beet weighs 2 pounds and contains 4 ounces of sugar. It takes about 40 sugar beets to make a 10-pound bag of sugar. 55% of U.S. sugar comes from the beets that we raise here, and the rest comes from cane. America is the world's largest sugar importer. All of Minn-Dak sugar is sent out in bulk and heads to factories around the country. Mars and M&M and Pepsi are a couple of the big companies that take in some of the sugar. Minn-Dak also sells powdered sugar in bulk.